Nigerian states, with their governors at the helm, seek to hit the ground running in 2024 with the signing of state budgets into law to fund the government and its programs and policies for the new year. That's our focus on Special Report.
Taraba State is the first port of call, as Governor Agbukefa says the 2024 budget is not a mere financial plan, but a blueprint for the future for his administration to address the issues and foster economic growth and enhance essential services. The governor assures residents of his resolve to ensure accountability and transparency for the state's resources for adequate development to continue. Governor Agbukefa has presented a budget estimate of 311 billion naira to the State Assembly. After consideration, the State Assembly jacked up the 2024 appropriation bill from 311 billion naira to 313 billion naira, with an additional sum of 2 billion naira. The House is denying that the budget inflation is not for their personal benefit, but to ensure that the dividends of democracy is felt by all and sundry.
From the foregoing, it will be noted that the size of the budget has been increased by 2 billion naira only. It is pertinent to remind you all at this juncture that the Honorable House did promise to expedite action in the consideration of this appropriation bill at all stages. The promise to fast-track the passage of this all-important bill was met in consideration of the need that the desire to remain within the January to December fiscal budget year.
Shortly after the passing of the appropriation bill, members of the State Executive Council, the legislature and the judiciary gathered to witness the first budget signing by Governor Agbukefa. The state governor says the budget does not just represent numbers and allocations, but the collective aspirations of Taraba residents.
That this budget is not merely a financial plan, it is a blueprint for the future we envision. It allocates resources strategically to address pressing issues, foster economic growth, and enhance essential services. It is a tool that empowers us to meet the needs of our communities and build a resilient and prosperous state. Once again, I want to assure you all that my administration will be steadfast in its implementation. We will work tirelessly to ensure that every kobo is spent wisely and contributes to the betterment of our society. So together, we can achieve the goals set forth in this budget and create a legacy of progress and prosperity for the generation to come. This document represents not just numbers and allocations, but the collective aspiration of our people. The collaborative effort between the legislative and the executive branches has resulted into a budget that reflects our commitment to progress and the well-being of our citizens.
He also says that the budget is a blueprint for the future. In Anambra State, following the due diligence of the Anambra State House of Assembly on the 2024 appropriation bill, in addition to an accelerated passage of the bill, Anambra State Governor Professor Chukwuma Soludo assented to the bill and signed it into law. According to the governor, the 410,231,225,272 naira budget for the 2024 fiscal year is for the transformation of the state, and for him the state will change gear starting from the first day of January. He notes that the state is one that has an agenda with a deadline.
It encompasses the 5 pillars of our transformation agenda. Whether it is in the area of law, security, law and order, the issue of infrastructure and economic transformation, the human capital and social agenda, the governance and the new value system, and of course the environment towards a planned, clean, green, planned and sustainable Anambra. All the budget pays attention to these 5 pillars, and we are kicking on all. And several of them we have already started. We have already started quite a number. We're only changing gears with regards to all of them. There's no sequencing, not either this or this or this before this. We're kicking on all cylinders simultaneously. Because Anambra cannot wait. Anambra cannot wait. We have a timeline. We have an agenda with a deadline. And so no minute will be wasted. Of course, infrastructure still takes a lion's share of our capital spending, massively, because that is at the heart of everything. If you don't have infrastructure, you're not going to have economic transformation and wealth creation or poverty reduction. And of course, we're very intentional about investing on our people, the human capital, health, education, the vulnerable, leaving no one behind, creating wealth for the future. We're very intentional, very deliberate about empowering our youth, our students, and so on and so forth. And then creating 3 brand new, 3 new cities, Onitsha 2.0, and an industrial city. We'll be firing on all these cylinders simultaneously.
He notes that the state is one that has an agenda with a deadline and cannot wait to fire on the 5 pillars of transformation agenda towards economic transformation, wealth creation, and poverty reduction. Also in the southeast, Enugu State Governor Dr. Peter Mba signed into law the 2024 appropriation bill tagged Budget of Disruptive Economic Growth with commitments to rebuild the state. While performing the function of the government house in Enugu, the governor noted that the budget will enable his government address some gaps in the state's social services and also nip poverty in the bud.
We called this budget a budget of disruptive economic growth. And it's disruptive based on the reasons I've already given. The first time we're spending this size on our capex. It also means that we're going to have huge economic activities in Enugu State. So imagine an economy that is typically used to the spending of 20, 30 billion as capex, now going to witness a spend of 400 plus billion on the same capex. That is going to be monumental in the way that it lifts our people out of poverty, in the ways that we generate economic activities. Most importantly, it is also going to ensure that we address some of the gaps we have in our social services. So for us, in the education sector, the passage of this bill and the signing of this bill into law today means that we're now looking forward to 260 smart schools in all the wards in Enugu State.
He called on his commissioners to work hard and ensure they meet their targets in line with Key Performance Index on revenue generation.
But anybody that wants to change school now, they can change.
Governor Umaru Bago of Niger State assented to the 2024 appropriation bill passed by the House of Assembly 7 days after he presented the budget proposal to the State House of Assembly. The Speaker of the Niger State House of Assembly, Barrister Abdul Malik Sarkindaji, says the quick passage of the appropriation bill was due to the collaboration with the executive. He announced an increase of 720 million naira from the original budget estimate.
You were with us in the State Assembly about a week or so. And upon your presentation, we promised you that, God's willing, in a week's time, we're going to have that budget passed. Some people never believed we could do it, considering the bulkiness of the budget. But then, it is not a surprise to us, Excellency Sir, because in the course of the preparation of this budget, we must commend the Commissioner Planning. They have carried us along. They have sought for our input. So even before the budget came, we already have a glance of what we're expecting. So there's no need to delay it. There's no need to give it intensive scrutiny, especially that we've been carried along in the process. Excellency, to some people, they refer to us as stooge, while some called us rubber stamp legislators. But we don't care, because we know what we're doing. We're sharing in your vision. The rest assured, Excellency, ordinarily we wanted to pass that budget within the time frame of 48 hours. Because if there's anything we can do to impress you, this should be the beginning. You've been committed to the House of Assembly since our inception. You've been forthcoming with all our demands. You've made the House so convenient for us to operate. You didn't intervene in all of our activities.
The Governor of Niger State had presented to the State Assembly the 2024 budget estimate of over 613 billion naira and read a rat act against members of their cabinet who failed to honor invitations at the State House of Assembly for scrutiny and status inquiry.
I have given orders to MDAs to respond to your calls immediately. And anybody that committees of your house invite for scrutiny, status inquiry, please and please, if they don't respond immediately, let me know that I will fire them. Legislature and its sanctity must be protected. That is my alma mater. I came from legislature. And I know for a government to do well, somebody must be able to criticize and scrutinize what the activities of the government are. So unless, of course, we don't want to be transparent, unless, of course, we have other undertone, we should leave our books open in the spirit of accountability.
Abia State Governor Dr. Alex Oti signed into law the 2024 appropriation bill, saying it'll spur both foreign and local investments into the state and engender radical infrastructural development. Speaking during the budget signing, which was witnessed by members of the Abia State House of Assembly, led by the Speaker and other top government functionaries at the Governor's Lodge, Dr. Alex Oti thanked members of the state legislature for their support across party lines. The governor says Abia State is devoting 84% of the 2024 budget to capital expenditure and saying that every money the state intends to borrow will go into infrastructure.
This is a budget that would take Abia State out of underdevelopment to development. The journey of 1,000 miles starts with one step. This is the first step. And once we get things right, and we know we will get them right, the next few years will be uhuru for all our people, those living here, those who come from here, and our friends. It is a budget that would spur investments into the state, both foreign and local, attract businesses, the small, the medium, the large-scale businesses, and secure the state and prepare it for the next level of development.
Breaking down the budget after the signing, the Special Advisor to the Governor on Media and Publicity, Ferdinand Ekeoma, says the budget will act as a stimulus and catalyst for the growth and development of Abia State.
84% of the budget goes to capital projects and 16 goes to recurrent expenditure. That marks a watershed in our history. It's unprecedented, and that is why everyone is excited. So now that the budget has been signed into law, it gives the governor the platform to meet the expectations, to meet the desires of Abia. Our people are excited because they have seen what the governor has done so far in all spheres of governance. You look at education, you look at the health sector, you look at road infrastructure, you look at security that has been restored in Abia. With this budget prepared by him, structured to meet the challenges of our people, you can imagine what is going to happen next year. So we are excited that finally the budget has been signed into law, the governor has assented. So it marks a watershed in our history, and we know it is going to herald the much needed transformation of Abia State.
Commissioners, Chairman of Government Agencies, Boards and Commissions.
The governor of Adamawa State signed the 2024 appropriation bill into law following its approval by the State House of Assembly. According to Governor Madu Fintiri, his administration has laid a solid foundation in the last 4 years and it will ensure that every local government benefits from projects worth ₦1 billion from the budget. He vowed that the government will implement the budget with utter sense of dedication, transparency and discipline so that the state will continue to reap more democracy dividends.
I want to assure you that this relationship we are building for our people will not be taken for granted.
And in Cross River State, the state governor, Bassey Otu, signed the 2024 budget into law. Though the governor had proposed a budget size of 250 billion naira with 154 billion as capital expenditure and 96 billion for recurrent expenditure, the assembly increased it by 46 billion naira to 296 billion naira.
You will recall that I laid the 2024 appropriation bill, Christians, the People First budget, before the Cross River State House of Assembly on the 26th of October 2023. The action was not just a statutory ritual in governance, but an avowed commitment towards the improvement of the standards of living of our people. It is equally gratifying that the Assembly, through due diligence, has made valuable inputs and passed the 2024 appropriation bill in record time. This is an effective synergy required in modern democracy to move our state forward. With this collective resolve and subsequent action, Cross River State has maintained a predictable, transparent, and accountable January to December fiscal document as provided for in the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended. This budget is not just a set of numbers. It is a blueprint that defines our priorities, values, and commitment to the people we serve. The allocation of funds in this budget signifies our dedication to addressing the pressing needs of our people. It is a testament to our pledge to invest in education, agriculture, power, healthcare, infrastructure, sports, and various sectors crucial to the growth and prosperity of our dear state. It is our commitment to championing social justice, equality, and empowerment for all, irrespective of a citizen's socio-political and economic standing. We are further mindful of the responsibility entrusted upon our administration. I will ensure value for every kobo through accountability.
The governor explained that the increase is predicated on the need to provide adequate financial support for the people living with disabilities, which he requested for after laying the budget proposal before the State House of Assembly.
The 2024 budget that I have just signed into law provides for aggregate expenditure of 296 billion naira, representing an increase of about 46 billion naira over the initial executive proposal I presented in October. The increase is predicated on the need to provide adequate financial support to our people living with disabilities, which are requested for. After laying the budget proposal before the State House of Assembly, the increase in the budget allocation for this community is not just a necessity, but a moral imperative to erase social imbalance of these special demographics, as they are a vulnerable group. The required specialized care, adaptive equipment, and access to resources that accommodate their unique needs. This increase will facilitate better access to health care.
This not only emphasizes the importance of structural development, but also a demonstration of the state's commitment to the provision of much-needed infrastructural facilities in the rural and urban centers. In Benue State, Governor Hyacinth Alia signed the over 225 billion naira 224 appropriation bill into law with a focus on infrastructure, job and wealth creation to lift Benue State out of poverty. The 2024 Benue State Appropriation Bill comprises of 51% for capital projects, according to the governor, will strictly be implemented to give Benue State a chance at competition for business growth and development. The governor also commended the State Assembly for the diligent work done on the budget, tagged Budget of Infrastructure, Job and Wealth Creation, as contained in his administration's policy document.
It is with great pride and enthusiasm as we mark the signing of the budget for infrastructural development, job creation, and poverty alleviation into law. After revision from the Benue State House of Assembly has an aggregated financing to the sum of 225 billion 727,395,206 naira 97 kobo only. The disaggregated sum of the total 2024 budget comprised of a total recurrent expenditure of 110 billion 487 million and 33,965 naira 99 kobo only, which represents a 48.9% of the total budget. On the other hand, the capital head stands at 15 billion 240 million 361,240 naira 99 kobo only. This represents 51.1% of the total 2024 budget.
Different states have varying internally generated revenue, and while federal allocation is important in this system of government, a beneficial strategy for the states is as well increasing prosperity from within rather than without. For Special Report, I'm Olumide Macaulay. Happy New Year.